Good morning, good people. It is Clint Sharp Solutions, carpet and upholstery, cleaning, supply, install and repair. Here we are, guys, back with this second floor apartment. Not a bad area at all. These are professional apartments, and even with professionals, there's trouble. There's issues. So basically, I'm here to clean these carpets and re-stretch them, okay? And I went off pictures. It didn't matter if I really came out to view it in person. Pictures were sufficient to see that yes, the carpets needed re-stretching, and yes, they needed cleaning. You can see a clear soiling path here. Now these carpets have also got a lot of wear, so managing the customer's expectations, should I say the property owner, because this is let out. Managing their expectations was important on this one because there is a lot of wear on these carpets, and they just want the ripples, the sagginess in the carpets sorting out, re-stretching, and the carpets cleaning to the best of the ability. So with this, we are going to be doing low moisture. We'll be using low moisture, but first of all, we're obviously going to re-stretch the carpets. Now, on inspection, it looks like just round here, without pulling this carpet back, I can't be 100%, but I have had this issue before. And sometimes this can look like tide marking from maybe a leak, a flood, something like that, where the water's edge has kind of stopped and then all of the soiling has gathered up. But then on closer inspection, when I'm feeling the carpet, I'm feeling a ridge. So I've got the feeling that something is going on with the underlay. So we are going to have to pull this carpet back to probably the halfway point of this room on either side, so we can see exactly what is going on in that area. Now, that's just the beginning. This hallway is probably the star of the show. As you can see, there's ripples galore. And again, very funny kind of situated ripples. That one, yes, that can happen. Might need stretching into the doorway. These ones here, it's like it's been rocked up for some reason. It's loose or something. I mean, I'm looking round the sides and that is definitely, that is off the gripper rods, but without looking, these are going to be concrete subfloors. So that, it has alarm bells ringing straight away. I'm going to have to pull back this carpet and take a look. Maybe the gripper has popped, you know, and it's no longer holding the stretch. You know, maybe they didn't put the gripper down correctly with the correct adhesives and priming and what have you. There could be 101 reasons, and the only way that we're going to tell is by lifting these carpets back to have a closer inspection. Now here in this room, you can see one here in the doorway and then one here in the center of the room. This one's not too bad though. A couple of stains. Looks like that's either vomit or tea and coffee. We'll soon see when we're cleaning. Soil levels are quite bad really in the actual walkway. You know, I'd say that's more than moderate. So these carpets have seen some wear, like I say. Now this bedroom, again, the soiling in the carpets. but that is very, very peculiar. That's literally a ridge. Yeah, I can feel a bump underneath the carpet, which is suggesting that there's something going on with these rooms. I'm gonna pull the carpet back. I haven't got the correct tool to hand. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. What have we got here? That carpet was extremely easy to pull back. Okay. Right, okay. You can see yellowing on the back of the carpet here. That's where this carpet's had some spray adhesive down. The thing with spray adhesive, sorry, get my words out, jumbled up. Yeah, the thing with spray adhesive is it will go brittle over time and should never be used for a permanent fixture like that. So they've either run out of gripper rods, you know, or something. I mean, I don't know. There's a first for everything, and that's a bit weird because they've hammered the gripper in here, so they are concrete nails in those gripper rods, and they've gone straight into the concrete subfloor. There is no adhesive underneath there now. That really, it isn't gonna hold forever. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't come up there because the concrete that we use here in the UK, it's kind of, if you try and nail into it with a concrete nail like that, it'll hold with a shank on the nail, you know, for light tension and things like that. But as soon as you start putting some serious tension on, that's more than likely gonna pop. Those grippers should be cut up into 12 inches, 1 foot, you know, and stuck with a correct concrete adhesive. Or, you know, left in the 5 foot, the adhesive on the back, and then drove into the concrete. But from experience, us at Sharp Solutions, me, myself and I, don't do that. Wow. Okie dokie, we've got issues. We've got issues. Right then. Yeah, this underlay, it basically, it's not underlay at all. I mean, this is parcel wrap. This is the sort of stuff that you send parcels in so that the movement in the box, you know, you don't get any lids coming off and so forth. And somewhere along the way, you know, there's been a manufacturer that thought, you know, we could use this for a very, very entry-level budget underlay. It obviously isn't up to key. I don't even know if it would meet British standards, but obviously it's been sold. It's been sold heavily because I've seen this stuff before. We've got problems because we can't re-stretch a carpet on that, you know. Yeah. It's quite serious. Okay. I mean, I don't know if that's going to hold down if it's glued. Wow. You've joined us for a good one today, guys. It's opening up before your eyes, this one. I've got a good feeling that this hallway is identical. Oh my God, the door bars just come straight up. That's been glued in there. Yeah, there we go. There we go, we've got to be careful lifting that up. There's been no adhesive used, no glues used, no nothing. This is a budget and scarper job. And then someone like myself is left to put it right. But I'll be putting it right at the right cost, the right price. Something like this isn't going to cost the customer, you know, a shorthand in the pocket. This is going to cost what it's worth. I've got to go put gripper rods around here. I've got to sort out this underlay on both sides. Got a feeling the same thing's happened in the lounge. This is going to need gripper rods all the way round. I've got a feeling that there's no gripper rods in this hall at all. So we better get into it, hadn't we, and see if we can sort this out. Okie dokie, so one area at a time, guys. It was much easier to just uplift this carpet, so I've literally just popped it in a bedroom for the time being, and then I'll re-stretch it fully once the gripper rods have been put down correctly and had time to go off. Okay. Yeah, that's what we do with the blades. Instead of disposing of them correctly, we'll just pop it underneath the carpet. Yeah, you know, that won't hurt anybody. Wow. Cowboys, grab your hats, get your boots on and jump on your horse. Right then, so here in the UK, our gripper rods, tack strip for the Americans, it has these arrows on that you can clearly see here. Now, they stand for two things. They're pointing towards this chamfered edge here that you can clearly see is on, like almost a 45. Now it's this side to the skirting board. Okay, we don't put it directly up to the skirting board. We leave a gap of anywhere between kind of 3 and I would say between 3 and 4 mil. 3 mil being really what I tend to use, but I have seen it further away for the old type of carpets where obviously the pile length, the density and everything else is a lot thicker. That's normally the case for that, but we like to get it nice and tight up to the skirting. So I would place this around, just have a look. I would probably be there, okay, which is about 3.5 mil. 3 to 3.5 mil away. Obviously, these are concrete floors, so I'm not going to be driving concrete nails through them because I don't work like that. I use a high grab adhesive that literally reactivates chemically with the concrete, and it creates a very, very strong bond. It goes off in about 15 minutes, and then I can stretch on that with a standard knee kicker, which will bring out all of these ripples in the carpet that we had. Now, obviously, it would be different slightly if you was to use a power stretcher. Would it stand up to a power stretcher? Yes, we've had it before. I've done it many, many times. I tend to double bank them when it comes to that, and I have done it many, many times, and the adhesive is that strong that it holds up well. You can get all different kinds of gripper rods. I'm not going to go too much in depth there, but the one I've used today is a standard wood gripper, and these pins, these dark black ones, is what I've just taken out of these lengths of gripper. You can buy them without that in, ready to go straight down to the floor. But most of us fitters, we make do with one box instead of carrying, 5 different kinds, whether it be wood, felt, non-gripper. We do one that we do most floors with, and then we de-pin them. And I'll also be cutting them on these arrows, which are about 1'12" inch. And that really is a perfect size, because when they're in the box, I think I may have said this on previous videos, in a cold warehouse or wherever they're stored, they tend to collect moisture, these gripper rods do, and then they can bend. And then if you try and put them down in their 5 foot, 1.5 meter length, as you can see there, it's off the ground slightly, and that wouldn't be a imperfection in the floor where the floor's uneven. That is literally the bowed gripper rod. So when we cut them up into 12-inch pieces, they lie flat. It also creates a better bond. So that's what we'll be doing. Give me 2 secs and we'll show you. Right then, good people, where I'm to. So, as you can see, I've pulled back the underlay and I've pre-vacked the subfloor. All of this is going to need sticking to the floor. Now, obviously, even those that don't know the ins and outs of installation and fitting might be thinking, why don't you just change that underlay? And it's simple. As I said before, that is because the landlord doesn't see it fit. They see make good, you know, and that's what I'm here to do, as I said before. So the creased areas are going to get spray glued to the floor. The reason I'd use spray adhesive is because it's brittle. So it will hold it in place, but it won't be impossible to get it back up when the next carpet's fitted and the underlay's changed, because it could well be myself that does it, you know, in the near future, a couple of years, whatever it be. I'm probably thinking it's going to last a few years, to be fair, even though it's in a sorry state, because I've done the hallway, and as you can see, the hallway, you can see the soiling, because obviously that is soiled, it's dirt, so I'm going to clean that, but all of those ripples that we had before have now vanished. You can see the tide mark of where the underlay was bundling up underneath, but this carpet is fully stretched. There's no ridged areas whatsoever, so all being well, after a good vac tomorrow and then a good clean, I'm hoping all that comes out, and it should do, you know, it should do. Sometimes it can be a bit stubborn when a carpet's been in a situation for so long, so with the ripples being in it, and then obviously soiling, collecting, because that's basically what that is. It's soil that's collected in the raised areas. So hopefully, you know, this cleans up really, really well. Again, here's this room, all on the walls. That's the main thing, all the way around, fully stretched on, as tight as a drum skin, this carpet, all on. They're the markings from obviously where it was, so same as the hallway. I'm hoping that they come out under the clean. There is literally no raised areas in this room whatsoever, nor is there any in any other rooms apart from the lounge that we still need to do. I've just finished this room. I didn't cover the stretching in these areas. I have got videos on the channel of stretching, re-stretching and things like that, if you're interested in things like that. I will probably cover the lounge that I'm going to do now. I won't cover the gluing down of the underlay. That's not pretty. Yeah, it's not pretty at all. We're trying to make good, remember. I do get it flat though. It was the same in all of these areas. It does go flat, but I'll probably jump to the carpet being re-stretched, and then we'll jump straight on the clean. Right then, so off that stretch, you can see we've got quite a bit, an inch in places. So this just needs trimming off. I've already trimmed it into the doorway. Trim some off down there, but here, We've got 1/2 inch up that wall, and then also we've got some surplus up this wall. So I'm just going to go around now and trim that all off. Yes, you can still see where the impressions have been, but this is absolutely flat now. So as I said earlier, I'm hoping that the clean alone will take that lot out. So let's give it a good vac. Right guys, it is cleaning time. Solution of choice is Bonnet Pro Surround Omega. So it's got the citrus in there as an encapsulation. Only available obviously to the trade. But that's what we're going to be using, and agitation is going to be the zebra pad. Okay. I think we'll plug in into the hole so that I don't have to keep unplugging, and we should be able to get the hall and the other 2 bedrooms from that point. By the way, it smells amazing. Has a real nice citrusy fragrance to it. So let's make sure we're on. There we go. Solution is running. I did forget to lube the pad. That's why that aggression start was there. I quickly remembered. And here we go with shower feeding today, so let's hope we get good results. So I'll be agitating first, obviously followed up by an extraction pad. Although I do agree with a lot of people, when it comes to these extraction pads, they are very exorbitant. So they do collect a lot of moisture in themselves. No pets allowed in this building as well, so the agitation for it is absolutely fine. We don't need to crack out the CRB. Gone with hot tap water. Got a good boiler on this place. I know we don't have to with certain encapsulation solutions. It can be used cold, but as we all know, and those that don't, heat is our friend regardless, unless it says do not by any means mix with warm or hot water for whatever reason that may be. I'm going to. I've seen a couple of what looks like tea or coffee spills. Not very aggressive though, so that looks like someone's had a go with a spotter just there. You can see how it's not allowing anything to penetrate it, so a couple of goes round on there to try and lift whatever it is that's on there. Not too much, we don't want to distort the pile anymore. Although this pile is in terrible condition, and I'm hoping after this clean it makes it look a lot better. A lot of these places have got two forms of heating. A lot of them have underfloor heating and electric wall heating. This place has got underfloor heating and wall heating. So the reason I'm saying that is I might just flick on the heating. I'm not sure. I'll text the property management company and see if the underfloor heating comes on by itself, which normally does in buildings like this, to be fair. It's normally on a timer because it does the whole building. Just trying to run that pad up close to the edge of that bar because there's some carbon marking, filtration lines. And you get that a lot when bars aren't dressed down. Concentrating more obviously on these areas because straight out of the kitchen, greasy feet, that kind of thing. That's why I've gone for the Bonnet Pro solution this time, because obviously with it having the citrus in it, natural solvents, it should cut through quite easily. It is the first time using the citrus though. I have used the surround before, which I did think was a good product. I do try and invest in products that work, but I also try and invest in products from where I'm from. You know, here in the UK, we do fantastic encapsulation solutions. Restore Mate, which is based up Sunderland, Newcastle way. The Newcastles are gonna hate me for that, even putting the two names together, but I'm not a northerner. I'm from the Midlands, so the war's not mine as such. Well, when it comes to football, I guess. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's coming up. It's obviously going to look a lot better once we've got a finishing pad on there, but I am happy with how it's looking. And this machine lets out a nice trickle flow when we've got it on shower feed. A lot of the time I used to use a work sprayer, which I still do in the right situation, but wherever I can shower feed, I do. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, it adds weight to the machine. These Victor 400 sprites are heavy in themselves anyway. They've got a good weight to them, you know, and a lot of machines, people add weights to them to obviously get a deeper scrub. So we're all right with this, that literally we've got that to hand. So yeah, for those reasons, I do choose to shower feed in certain situations. It's the hallway that I'm looking forward to seeing. It's the hallway that's got most of that soil in. Obviously concentrating on these lines as well, which do look like they've come out quite nice. See if we can get a wedge to wedge this door open. Try and get as close up. Wow. The camera don't do it justice. It should do by time it's fully had time to sit in the fibre. Just so I can get as close up to there as possible. All right, guys, you've caught me with a finishing pad. That's what stage I'm at. So I've done the bedroom next door. I'm just working my way out of here. I've got the hallway just to run over quickly. I have been to that point, but then I've come back, so I just need to run over that and into the lounge, and I'll change the pad over to the clean side in the lounge. I'm very happy with how this carpet has come up. This is the one that I wanted to make a difference on this hallway, because that was the worst affected area. Just enough solution left for the lounge. I think in the whole apartment we've used about nine litres. Right, and into the lounge. I would normally use, on an apartment this size, maybe around 5 to 6 litres. But obviously, we are quite heavily soiled. So that don't look too bad at all. You can obviously see the true colour of whiteness, cream should I say there, and then the soil around it. Not too bad, just goes to show you how much. That's the clean side that we're gonna do this room with now. But yeah, it just goes to show you how much soiling those zebra agitation pads do take out alone. Because that was quite heavily soiled, which I'll show you shortly. Yup, we're caught. That's better. Okay, let's put the finishing pad on this then. So this is the size of the rubbish bag. Through all the offcuts of underlay that had stretched, and the offcuts of carpet, and the dirt that had turned to powder. And that's it finished, guys. So the camera is definitely picking it up different to what the eye is. All of those markings that were there in this room have gone. The hallways turned out well. This room, with the carpet being a loop pile, it will need time to settle. You can still see the impression. That is not dirt, by the way. That is where the impression of the underlay was. Been over it again and again. I guess the story goes, you know, if you're after new carpets, then you buy new carpets. If you want them restored to the best of their ability, then that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what we're gonna do. So till next time, guys, I'm happy with this one. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next.